You're watching The Ugly Inside? Subscribe below.
Before we get into the match preview, make sure you stay tuned for the rest of the video to find out how you can win 2 tickets, courtesy of Shaw, for the big game against West Ham on Saturday afternoon. Welcome to our big match preview, and it's back to Saturdays once again, 3 o'clock kickoff, and Saturday, the visit of West Ham United. I'm with Clive this time. Got his Super Saints flag out from the League Cup final 1979. Bit of an antique you got there, mate.
Yeah, not bad, is it? Not bad. Well, I'm a bit of an antique, so why not? I remember the day very, very well. Obviously, we'll be talking about that in the next few weeks. And with the people who've subscribed to The Ugly Inside, we'd like to know your memories and how you got on that day. It was a cracking game of football, to be fair. I know we lost and it was gutting, but it really was a cracking final.
So on to West Ham then Saturday. Obviously, this one's going to be billed as Jose Fonte's return. He's started against Man City. He's in the starting lineup. Do you think he's due for a start back at St Mary's? What sort of reception do you think he's going to get, mate?
Well, I hope he get a decent reception. Obviously, I'd like to think that people aren't going to boo him when he's on the ball. It's a bit sad because, like I said the other week, there's so many players that have left. We'll end up booing everyone every single game, won't we? So Jose's special. He done a lot for us. It's still a bit clouded as to why he went. I don't think that is particularly important right now. What's important is that Saints get their act together, because the guys at the bottom got their act together last night and closed the gap. So we need to keep that gap. I don't want to talk about relegation. I know I've mentioned it a few times in things, but it's always there over the horizon. And if you look at it from here, 3 wins, 3 draws would get us over the line. We don't want to be over the line. We want to be heading for 50 points. But right now, the first priority is to beat West Ham.
Of course, that's absolutely right. And I think for me as well, obviously the disappointment on Tuesday night, another away defeat. But I think these home games are critical for our points to really achieve what we need to achieve this season.
Yeah, they are. They are. We performed so well against Leicester City. That was a really professional performance and job well done. And I'm hoping that that's going to be the case for the West Ham game, and then after that, obviously, we got Sunderland, which is another crucial game to keep the distance between us and them. But West Ham first. I actually think West Ham, in some ways, I don't know whether the points would dictate this, are a better away team than they are a home team. Certainly the pressure they felt at their new ground hasn't done them any favours at all this season. So they've played some decent stuff, and he's done well to claw back what looked like a relegation fight to reasonable mid-table obscurity, as it were.
That's right, they had a dreadful first start to the season, but now that the Dimitri Payet's gone, it seems like, it's like a similar cloud that's disappeared from their club as what happened with our club with Font departing us. Yeah,
well, I don't know about cloud, Freddie, but, players come and players go, and sometimes Payet was very important to West Ham, as Fonte was to us. Sometimes a happy team is more important, and a happy togetherness is more important than perhaps the individual. I'm looking forward to it. What I'm hoping for is a cracking atmosphere. West Ham are pretty feisty supporters, let's face it, and they're forever blowing bubbles, of course, but the Saints West Ham, there've been some really good games over the years, and some really good atmospheres, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
That's right, it is a sellout actually. And speaking of the sellout, we've actually got 2 tickets to give away. All you need to do is tweet us with the hashtag NeverMoreSure and answer the following question: which left back did Saints sell to Manchester United in the summer of 2014? So make sure you tweet us, that's at The Ugly Inside on Twitter, with your answer, with the hashtag NeverMoreSure. So Clive, let's finish things up then. Obviously, transfer deadline day, 2 arrivals, Moez Hassan, the goalkeeper from France, OG Nice, and a new forward, Manolo Gabbiadini. It took a while for it to be announced, but he's finally in, and you think he's in line to start against West Ham?
I'd like to think so. No doubt he'll be rotated, but I do think that from what I've seen of him, forget about stats. The goals that I've seen him score, he seems to be very good at getting across the defender at the near post, and that's what we need, because none of our crosses ever reach the far post. So, we need someone sharp in there in the 6-yard box. And hopefully, Shane or J-Rod, whoever plays. I think J-Rod's out for a couple of weeks, isn't he? So probably not J-Rod. So it probably will be Shane and Josh Sims coming off the bench. We've got more options. That's the good thing. I'm expecting him to be sharp, because Italians, let's face it, a lot of their football is very, very patient, like ours has been. and they need to be, when that ball gets in the danger area, they need to be on fire and finish. One thing Italians generally are good at is finishing.
From the reports that suggest and all of the highlight reels, he's got a cannon of a left foot, so it may suggest that he might prefer to take a few long shots and actually take a few chances, unlike some of the players recently.
Yeah, well, I like the fact that he scores different goals, but from a striker's point of view, the ones I've been most impressed with, the ones he's got ahead of the defender in the box. And that's something I hope is going to come to fruition, because we certainly created a fair few chances this season, and it is about finishing them. Is he the answer to the problem? Well, only time will tell, but let's give him our backing. I was a bit disappointed to see some of the comments on social media yesterday. It was so negative. I kind of understand that Saints fans are pissed off because we've got to Wembley. We've shown glimpses of brilliance. You know, the Liverpool games, both Liverpool games, and the performance at Arsenal in the League Cup were particularly impressive. Leicester City was an impressive performance. So I get the frustration, but, you know, we've all wanted a striker. We've gone and got a striker. Let's back him. Let's back him. I'm obviously gutted we didn't get a centre-half, because I think, given suspensions and injuries, we could be up the Swansea there without a paddle. So, a bit worried about that one. Bit worried. Jack did tremendously well at Liverpool, but obviously he's had a couple of rough games and it's all about confidence and the fans giving the youngsters confidence. That's what I want to see. I'm sure the guys going down there are going to back them, but, you know, this is a tough time for Saints. We don't want to get dragged in. We want to be looking middle and upwards, and so stick behind them. Give them your bet, because you know West Ham are going to come down here smarting from that 3-0 spanking that we really gave them on their own patch. You know, they'll be wanting to put. They call us the deck chairs, by the way. They call us the deck chairs. So let's not have them sitting in the deck chairs. Let's go and blow their bubbles out, or whatever the expression might be.
All right, let's wrap things up there, mate. Give us a score prediction. Do you know what? I'll start things off. I'm going to go for a 2-1 home victory. What do you reckon?
Okay. Yeah, 2-1. 2-1 sounds good, actually. Possibly 3-1. 3-1. I think West Ham will score, though. I do think West Ham will score. And if they get the first goal, it will be tough. That's all I'll say.
That wrap things up then for our match preview then, Clive. Thanks for joining me, mates. And don't throw away that antique just yet.
No, I'm sure it'll be making its journey if I get a ticket, of course. But, you know, hopefully. But there we go.
Yeah, well, we're all looking forward to that. But let us know your thoughts in the comments below. West Ham at home on Saturday at 3 o'clock. Back to normality on that one. Now, let us know your score predictions. And as always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more.